Witch's Revenge, from the collected short stories Strangely Enough by C.B. Colby. Years ago, any old woman who liked to keep to herself, and perhaps dressed a little oddly, was soon viewed with fear by those who believed in witches. No matter how harmless and gentle the woman might actually be, she was often said to be endowed with strange powers and the evil eye. Quite frequently, circumstances teamed up with superstition to make such an idea easy to believe. In New Hampshire, there once lived a family by the name of Emerson. There were 2 daughters, Sally, the older, and Nabby, the younger. Sally was in love with a young chap, but her parents disapproved of him. They much preferred Stephen Jones, a lazy but well-to-do neighbor in whom Sally had no interest. One day, when the menfolk were to be away, Sally planned to meet her true love, who was about to leave to seek his fortune. She was to decide, this day, if she would join him on his journey. He was forbidden to come to the house, so they had arranged a meeting place. That morning, after the men had left, an old woman came to the house asking for breakfast. Although this old woman was reputed to be a witch, Sally's mother took no stock in such talk. She told her that they were very busy, but that if she wanted to get her own breakfast, she could come in and do so. This angered the woman, and she screamed, "Well, Marquis, my fine lady, 'tis little work you'll get done this day before the sun goes down." And off she went in a rage. The girls and their mother were astonished at her fury, but laughingly went upstairs to get to their spinning, before beginning their other chores. An hour or so later, they started down to the kitchen to get to the real work of the day. But the door to the kitchen and street would not open. Its simple latch could be raised easily enough, but try as they might, the door would not budge. They returned upstairs, opened a window, and called to a passer-by, who had stopped to water his horse, at the trough across the street. He didn't look up. Again and again they called to people passing by, but no one seemed to hear them, no matter how loudly or long they called. Finally, they gave up, and settled down to wait until the men came home to release them. As the day wore on, they recalled what the old woman had said about their not getting any work done before the sun goes down. When the sun dipped below the horizon, they again opened the window and called to a neighbor passing below. He looked up at once, and then came into the house, opening the door with no trouble at all. He looked at them curiously and left, shaking his head. Their release came too late, for no work had been done that day, and Sally's lover, not finding her at the meeting place, left without her, thinking she had decided to give him up. She married Stephen Jones, as her parents had hoped. But she often wondered how her life might have been differently if they had given the old witch breakfast.